So before I speak on this glorious verse today, I would like to seek the blessings of the assembled devotees here. Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you. This verse will highly talk about the pure devotees and everything. So, just as a disclaimer, I am going to repeat the teachings I have heard from Srila Prabhupada and other senior devotees. So it's not uh, my realization or anything. I'm just trying to repeat the words and hopefully um, will take will apply some in my life too. So today we're reading from the 6th verse of chapter 9, Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy. I'll read the translation one more time again. O my Lord, the people of the world are embarrassed by all material anxieties. They are always afraid. They always try to protect wealth, body, and friends. They are filled with lamentation and unlawful desires and paraphernalia, and they avariciously base their undertakings on the perishable conceptions of mine and mine. As long as they do not take shelter of your safe lotus feet, they are full of such anxieties. Before we go further into this verse, would like to share the Sarartha Darshini commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the same verse. So we just share the this verse. Okay, this one. This is the commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Translation, same verse, translation. As much as people do not completely accept your lotus feet, which give fearlessness, they suffer material existence caused by attachment to wealth, body, and friends, lamentation, hankering, defeat, and overpowering greed. Or they have excessive attachment, which is the cause of prolonged material existence. Commentary. But the devotees, if they have wives, children, and wealth, are also materialists. No, this is not true. Materialists suffer continued material existence, bhayam, caused by attachment to wealth, body, and friends. This existence consists of lamentation, desire, defeat, and great greed as long as they do not accept your lotus feet as having power. Or to speak in the opposite way, if they accept those feet completely, then by attachment to you, they will give up attachment to wealth, etc. And if one is a devotee and has attachment to wealth, etc., one should still not worry. The bite of a snake whose two front teeth have been extracted does not cause suffering. Thus, just accepting your feet as worthy of service destroys the very cause of material existence. Later it will be said, Tavat ragadayastenas tavat karagriham. Griham tavan mohongri nigado yavat Krishna nate janaha. My dear Lord Krishna, until people become your devotees, their mortal attachments and desires remain thieves. Their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain food saddles. From Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 14, verse 36. The word tavat has been used in both the verses, making the case strong. Thus, in this verse, three types of devotees have been described. Those who have great attachment to the Lord, described in the previous verse. That is fifth. Those at the stage of anartha nivritti, described in the first part of the present verse, and those who have not accomplished anartha nivritti, described in the last part of the present verse. So, this is the commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti So here, so when we uh, read uh, this translation, I mean, to recap ourselves, we are actually continuing with Brahma's prayers for creation, and then Brahma, as we see, he has been glorifying the Lord in various suitable verses, and then um, he, after having established that the Supreme Lord is the complete shelter or absolute truth, he is the ultimate reality, and that one must take shelter of him, like we heard from Dronacharya Prabhu yesterday in yesterday's verse. He speaks about the benefits of taking shelter of his lotus feet, and he speaks of it in a sense of establishing the consequences of not doing so from today's verse. So we see the negative statements from here for a few verses now. And so, um, it's like example. We often hear like, if you don't stop on the at the red light, then you will get a ticket, right? So he starts the negative statements here. From here, like when we ask why he starts from negative framing from here, usually the negative framing is very more is more immediate and impactful because it grabs the attention. Like, when we say like, don't touch the stove, it's hot, is more powerful than saying like, can you touch the cooler side of the stove, right? So um, philosophically, when we look why we are using why Brahma is using the negative statements, there are 3 points we come up with. So one is the negative framing is often more immediate and impactful, and it grabs the immediate attention. Like when someone says stop, grabs the attention, because this is how the human brain responds. Fear of loss, of losing, is more powerful or more motivating than the promise of gain, right? And then uh, we are often, I mean, people, the common human nature is like likely to act to avoid the negative outcomes than to um, act to gain some positives. And then the second point, the second point of the negative affirmation is it defines the boundaries clearly. When we say like, don't touch the stove, you'll burn yourself. Then versus touch the cooler side of the stove, it will be safe. Like the first one seems more clear, and then the third one is it reflects our states of consciousness also. Uh, in our spiritual growth, uh, especially during the anartha stage, we first start with the do's and don'ts. Like even in the Ashtanga yoga practice, when the first thing is yama, and then follows niyama. Yama means the don'ts. So it starts with the negative. Don't do this. Don't do that. Right? Don't associate with non-devotees. Don't eat meat. Don't eat this. Don't do that. Right? Avoid lust, anger, greed. All those stuff don'ts. And then after don'ts, then comes do's. Like chant 16 rounds. Chant with love. Always remember Krishna. Take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, like in this verse. It's like training outside, because they understand, before they understand why they need to do it, they need to know what not to do, right? And then as we grow spiritually, then the framing becomes more to positives, like chant 16 down, all the uh, I mean, do the devotional service, associate with the devotees, all this stuff. So the early enforcement through negative framing is a tool to protect us until we grow into the positive inspiration. And that's how Brahma is starting from here. And we'll see again later after a few verses and goes the bow. It is like tying a bow. It comes back to the fifth verse, like yesterday how we started. It comes back to that verse. Let's so let's read Prabhupada's purport. One may question how one can always think of the Lord in regard to his name, fame, quality, etc. if one is embarrassed by thoughts of family affairs. Everyone in the material world is full of thoughts about how to maintain his family, how to protect his wealth, how to keep pace with friends and relatives, etc. Thus, he is always in fear and lamentation, trying to keep up with the status quo. In answer to this question, this verse spoken by Brahma is very appropriate. And we should also remember that Brahma has not created yet, right? So previous chapter we saw the manifestation of Lord Brahma, and then by meditation he sees the Lord and he starts offering the prayer. So we're just in the beginning of the prayer. So he's praying for those living entities who have not yet been created by him, but he's praying for them, right? Uh, that prayerfulness, this prayerfulness is also very humble and uh, with very um, kind heart. He's saying that they they are always afraid. They always try to protect. Why is he saying that? Because this is not the first time Lord Brahma is creating. He has done this cycles many times, right? And then now he's going to create again, and then he knows that what is going to happen. He knows the nature of the living entities. Poor fellow. I'm going to create them. The souls are coming to this uh, material manifestation, and they will accept these 24 elements, and they are going to go through this process. So he's already feeling so pity on us. That's why he's praying to the Lord. How? I mean, he's praying like this is the start. And then Srila Prabhupada is so kind. He immediately he gives the answer in this like this. When we only read the translation or only read the verse, right? It doesn't say anything about the answer. It just says the prayer like Tavad Bhayam. Until then, these people are like going to be this. Tavad Mameti, they have all this me and mine attitude, how they are going to kind of. But Srila Prabhupada, look at Srila Prabhupada. He's saying, he starts the answer, already giving the opening the answer. A pure devotee of the Lord never thinks of himself as the proprietor of his home. Answer to uh, the the verse, because the living entity, until they come to the devotional platform, they will think this is me, this is mine. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, a pure devotee of the Lord never thinks of himself as the proprietor of his home. He surrenders everything onto the supreme control of the Lord. Thus, he has no fear for maintaining his family or protecting the interest of his family. Because of this surrender, he no longer has any attraction for wealth. Even if there is attraction for wealth, it is not for sense enjoyment, but for the service of the Lord. A pure devotee may be attracted to accumulating wealth just like an ordinary man, but the difference is that a devotee acquires money for the service of the Lord, whereas the ordinary man acquires money for his sense enjoyment. Thus, the acquisition of wealth by a devotee is not a source of anxieties, as is the case for a worldly man. And because a pure devotee accepts everything in the sense of serving the Lord, the poisonous teeth of accumulation of wealth are extracted. Okay, in this regard, uh, I was just listening to Srila Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj's class, and he nicely tied this purport with pastime of Nrsimha Dev Prahlad Maharaj also, but the other one I really touched my heart. That one really touched my heart is like the pastime of Sudama. Everyone knows how Sudama goes to Dwaraka to see Krishna after many years, and then he takes the chipped rice with him, and he was so like he feels so awkward to give that chipped rice to Lord Krishna because Krishna is the king of Dwarka, and I'm not sorry, don't go to my words, but I mean, Krishna is so opulently living in the palace, so he's feeling like, oh, I should not give this. But what does Krishna do? He snatches that chipped rice and he eats that, not all of it, but Rukmini Devi, she stops Lord Krishna from eating all. But after that, when Sudama goes back to his village, he sees a big palace. He didn't ask for Krishna, and he's all beautiful maid servants. He sees his wife being decorated so nicely, very beautiful. He almost didn't even notice his wife. And so, when after seeing all those opulences given by Krishna, what does Sudama do? Sudama immediately prays. She prays to Krishna, saying, like, "Oh my God, like I got so much wealth now, and it's not because of me, right?" And then he says, like, "Let me not get entangled into it." And then uh, he offers the prayer, saying that, "Let me not get proud that this is due to my devotion or duty. I got special mercy from Krishna," right? And then Srila Prabhupada in the purport nicely says, like, this is called Yukta Vairagya. That anything we get, we use for, devotee should be using that for personal service. And then, like Srila Prabhupada, famous pastime, Srila Prabhupada pastime, like in how the sannyasis of other philosophical sects, they try to avoid the money because that will degrade you from the path of bhakti or renunciation. But Srila Prabhupada says, no, no, bring me as much as wealth you can, and I'll use it in the service of Krishna. That should be our attitude. And as the line in the purpose says, a pure devotee accepts everything in the sense of serving the Lord. The poisonous teeth of accumulation of wealth are extracted. So that will not bind one in the cycle of birth and death. If a snake has its poison removed and bites a man, there is no fatal effect. Similarly, wealth accumulated in the cause of the Lord has no poisonous teeth, and the effect is not fatal. A pure devotee is never entangled in material worldly affairs, even though he may remain in the world like an ordinary man. There are many pastimes we can connect in this regard. Mm, like another pastime is from Sri Sampradaya, if we remember Sri Ramanujacharya. So there are multiple of his disciples who did the same thing. Like one of them is Tirumangai Alvar. He used to be the chieftain. So when he was the commander in chief or something like that, so he was accumulating wealth. Like he would levy taxes, heavy taxes on people, and he would even uh, rob the travelers, right? But not for himself. He used every single penny he got either way to build a temple, right? Sri Rangam. So, and then another disciple of Sri Ramanujacharya used, I forgot the name. He has different names. I think Quresh, he stole uh, the treasure from king's palace to renovate a temple, which was like almost falling apart. And then when king comes to know that he stole his treasure, then he was about to get the punishment when he asked for clarification, and he says like, "Yes, I did steal them because they were just lying unuseful. They're just lying there. You're hiding them. See, they're not being used, so I stole them and I used them to build a temple or to renovate the temple." And after seeing his humble, attitude, service attitude, the king forgives him. So the nice tying here is when Brahma, the pure devotees, the devotee's nature, compassion, we can see in both here. And Brahma is very compassionate, that's why he's praying for us. And then Srila Prabhupada, being very merciful, he is giving us the clue that how we can get out of this fear and lamentation. Right? Um, okay. Srila Prabhupada's purport is very clear. I don't think I need to expand anymore on this. But I've made a slide that is very similar to today's class. It's from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3rd, sorry, canto 3rd, same canto, and 26th chapter, verse 16. Srila Prabhupada, not only that one, but in multiple places, even in Canto 7, Canto 10, Srila Prabhupada, like time and again, he reinforces that fact that we we must follow the path of bhakti, then only our life will be meaningful. So let's hear from Srila Prabhupada. I think I need to stop this or no, I will hear from Srila Prabhupada. It's kind of a nice summary of this verse today. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
So, when the consciousness is materially absorbed, then there is fear. And when the consciousness pure means Krishna consciousness. I am eternal servant of Krishna. Then there is no worry. The more we advance in Krishna consciousness, the more we become free from fearfulness. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj advises, Hityatmghatam grihayandakupam vanam gato ja parimasraya. The real position of fearlessness is Harim Asrayat. Take shelter of Hari. Hari means who takes away all subjective things of fearfulness. That is Hari. He takes away all our miserable condition of life. Hari. Hari Asrayat. Tat sadhu manne suravadya dehina sada sabhundi vigna dhyam. Asat graha. We have accepted the asat, these 24 elements as described before, as identification with me. Asat. They are not permanent, temporary situation, changing one after another. So, asatgraha, sada samudvigna dhyam, always full of anxiety. What will happen next? What will happen next? You'll see even a small insect, birds, bees, human being, animal, even elephants, tigers, lions, everyone is fearful. There cannot be any fearlessness in this material existence. Even big nation, American nation, they are also fearful of the Russian. And the Russians are fearful of the Americans. You can see. The whole political field, our Indians are fearful of Pakistan. Pakistan is fearful. This is material existence. You cannot avoid it unless you take shelter uh, at the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna assures, Aham tva sarvapavi bhavamukhaishami masucha. He gives shelter and assurance that don't be afraid of. When you have taken shelter of me, then there is no cause of fear.
Prabhupada ki jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. I think Srila Prabhupada very nicely tied the verse today. So let's try to step ahead in our devotional practice and encourage each other. That way we can be fearless as the purport from Srila Prabhupada indicated today. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to. Okay, is there any more comments? I know there are so many points you can build in this purport. Any comments or more realization? Please unmute yourself and then go ahead. Or Parikshit Prabhu, do you have any more thing to add on this?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hang on a second, please. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the lecture. It's very, very instructive. The references that you read from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, if I remember correctly, and also the the end when you pulled up Srila Prabhupada's audio on life, especially the talk about wealth and what to do with it. Because wealth can deceive us into thinking if we're wealthy, give us a false sense of security. But actually, anybody that's been wealthy for a while and the body is breaking down, you realize that the body actually limits you in how much of the wealth you can spend, even for sense gratification. Even that's going to be taken away because the physical body itself won't be able to take it. Just like many people say, oh, I work hard, I save money. By the time I retire, I will have millions in the bank. That's very good. They think that way. And then the time comes, they retire and they're successful. There's money in the bank. And what happens? The body takes them to the hospital. They want to enjoy it, but they can't. So it's an illusion to think that you're going to be really happy in this world. And so this lecture and the references from it telling us the good way to use wealth is use it in the service of Krishna, because the soul is the only thing that will make you happy. As long as you have this physical body, there'll be disappointment. I look back on my own life. I don't want to get on my soapbox. You'll be laughing, literally. So many things that I tried to achieve in this world. And I'm kind of laughing about it now. Because in the end, the body just won't let you, I mean, it takes it all away. It takes it all away and it gets worse and worse and worse. So we're very fortunate. The only thing we have is Krishna. And we have to thank His Prabhupada again and again and again for not only lecturing, but bringing the things, the wisdom from the other parampara, knowledgeable people into all of this and this summarizing, putting it all in one place so we can come to our senses. But if we don't learn now, our bodies will cause us to learn. Believe me, I am in my 70s now and I know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is very good advice. Take it now and the world won't be so troublesome to you because you'll be disconnected from it. But if you don't and you try to become happy there in this world, you can be laughing at yourself later on that you didn't realize this was obvious. All these senior citizens around, what do you think? They were younger too. What happened to them? So let me stop now because I'm tempted to get in my soapbox. I'm kind of laughing about all of this. Very good advice. Thank you for the lecture. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. Yeah. Right. As you said, like Srila Prabhupada not only told us like be aware or you should not be using wealth for sense gratification. He gave us like practical example from the Sad Goswamis, like Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, like how you should be um, dividing your wealth, right? Like 25%, if I remember correctly, 25% of your wealth for Krishna conscious activities and 25% for emergency, 25 like that.
Yeah, he just 50% for Krishna consciousness, 25% for family, and 25% for emergencies. That's, we're fortunate he even broke it down like that for us. Hare Krishna. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful class. And then Parikshit Prabhu said, so good. Yes, we have, even Prabhupada was saying before, all the lectures, all those, he says, pray Krishna, and just give your wealth. Or you don't think that this is mine. And how long we can have mine? When we go to deathbed, it cannot be mine. That's it. And when we are active in work, we should just do for Krishna's service. That doesn't mean that Krishna didn't say that don't do anything for your family. He said take care. But like Parikshit Prabhu said, there is a percentage. So we don't think that 95% we want to keep ourselves. 5% of God, I will give 5%. That's the tendency of human tendency, that is not really good, and keep on reminding this. Still people are doing the same thing. That is a sad part of it. And just praying Krishna and then Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Praja. So everything Sarvadharman Parityaja, he needs to take care. That belief, if we get, we'll be happy in life. That I am trying my best to do that.
Right.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Very nice class.
Thank
you. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else? Acharya Prabhu, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think he's unmuted, yeah.
If you are speaking, we can't hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay, he muted again, so.
I guess he was talking, but we couldn't hear him.
Yeah. Anyway, let's keep chanting with vigor. It's the only thing we got left.
Yeah, we can't hear.
When you're coming close to the end of the world, you see things for what it is. You just struggle, but it all gets taken away from you. Material life, it shouldn't be taken so seriously. Just necessary things, that's all. You're not a success if you're wealthy. You really aren't. You just think you are. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, looks like that is it for today.
Thank you very much for a nice lecture. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you, Amma. Is Mother Sabaradi in there?
I'll see if she's. You need her?
No, I'm good. I was just going to ask her if she has any.
She's in basement.
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Okay, so I guess we can end here. Thank you, everyone.
Avanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.